What's up, fight fans? This is Curterville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Bob Arum, Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn, and Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Bob Arum has told Talk Sports that there are now less than a handful of issues left to be resolved before Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua is finalized. The Gypsy King's U.S. promoter confirmed he told AJ's promoter, Eddie Hearn, to keep quiet until a joint announcement is made between all parties. He said, however, this did not stop the 89-year-old from letting a few updates slip himself. Arum said that it's very, very hard for Eddie to shut up. I told him, let's get this over the line, let's get this done, and then we'll make a joint announcement. To stop Eddie is like stopping a raging river. He can't keep his mouth shut. All I say about what's happening in that both Matchroom side and our side, which includes Queensberry and Robert Davis, the attorney for Tyson, the negotiations have been pleasant. It's proceeding like every big fight does. We made changes, they accept some, they sent it back and forth, and all I can say is that the issues are gradually dwindling. That's what you want to do in this type of situation. You want to diminish the number of issues. And now the number of issues is less than a handful, so I am optimistic that this is going to be over the line. Okay. Hearn told Boxing Nude Podcast, he said there will be some minor issues when you go down to the changing room and that, but that's stuff that you work through to resolve it. When you talk about Deontay Wilder versus Joshua negotiations, we never even had a draft contract. With this, it's all the points have been discussed, the contract's been drafted, and it's all been received. It's going backwards and forwards with minor points. I actually don't see any way this fight falls apart. So, those are the words of Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn. Now, I don't know what the deal is about keeping your mouth shut. It's not like he's jumping the gun and saying the fight is being announced, because both of them are basically saying the same thing. You know, I mean, Bob Arum says, keep his mouth shut. But then he says some things that are going back and forth too, and what's really going on. So I don't see the significance of shutting up. I think it's most importantly when you have two parties that are agreeing together to make the fight work and they're negotiating. That's what you call negotiating, people. When you see something you don't like, you send it back with adjustments or notes, and then then you send it back and you wait for the feedback. The feedback gets back, and then they agree on certain things and they don't. Okay, so I don't really understand what the significance of Bob Arum is. Maybe Bob's pissed off about something else. Maybe it's Teofimo or something like that. I don't know. You know, because it is difficult when you are dealing with two competitive people trying to come together for a super fight, but still have other issues out there that they're dealing with concerning other fighters. Okay, especially when it comes to a fighter trying to leave one promotion to the next. So I think that is a issue all by itself. But as far as Eddie Hearn speaking about the similar things that he's speaking about, I don't see the problem. Okay, and it does sound good, but I would be more satisfied if we would get the announcement and then they actually both should shut the fuck up and make the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like Bob here saying, oh, what he should do, and he's doing the same thing. It kind of makes him hypocritical. Okay, because he's doing the same thing that he's talking about. So he's talking about the fight. You know, so these quiet times, we already know about the big things, and all those big things have been, finalized. And at this point, I think that they really need to stop with this and that and the other. You know what I'm saying? Like these type of things that they're talking about, you got the venue, you got the money, and I think the network should map that out by themselves. But, that all has to be finalized before you can make an announcement. Okay, so it's a lot complicated in certain situations than a lot of people think. But articles like this, it's certain people that don't like it, and I don't understand why. Like, you should want a super fight. You should want an undisputed fight. You should want someone with all the belts. Because a person with all the belts that's the person that has all the kingdoms in hand at one time. And everybody wants a piece of that person, and that person has a very, very busy schedule, because that's the person that's at the top of the mountain, that has everything, that conquered everything, right? And now everyone wants to knock him off to take what that one person has achieved. So it's a very, very important position to have. So, but getting there, this is the journey. I think that I would feel better if the fight was announced, but at least we know what's going on. And in fact, the Counterpunch Bob Arum, what he's trying to shut up Eddie Hearn from saying that there's progress. There's nothing wrong with that. If you did go quiet and people stop hearing about it, that's when we would start tripping. Like, yo, what's really going on with this? We went from, hey, it's doing good, it's minor issues, it's less than minor issues, then whew, nothing. Then people would get kind of antsy, like, yo, what's up now? We should have heard something by now. And then at that point, people use silence as their advantage, especially to get views and all that stuff for certain platforms, because those certain people that don't want the fight to take place, talking about, rumors of boycott and all that, what they would do, they would use that particular point of time while the silence is going on to make a bunch of videos, which I don't even think they stopped making those videos, but they would make those videos to explain or question what's keeping this fight so long. Like, why is this fight taking so long to get done, and this, that, and the other? And see, I told you Wilder has a lot to deal with and do, and in fact, he does not, because I'm actually going to Counterpunch an interview he just done. So stay tuned for that, regarding what type of power that he has, or what position that he has concerning these two champions. Okay, so stay tuned for that. But I think this would be the perfect opportunity for certain channels to get things cracking, or revving everybody up to make this think like this fight's not happening. But I guess you can say that as long as the fight's not finalized. You can see, I told you it didn't happen. So to silence all the critics, to see the best and the biggest fight that we can possibly make in this particular decade, I think it's imperative for those guys to come together and get all the nitpicking stuff out the way so we can finally see the fight. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Bob Arum's statement towards Eddie Hearn. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.